Get this all to work. What's going on, guys? See if I can get things pulled up here. I'm a couple minutes late. I had to buy a new microphone, so I guess let me know if you can hear me. And we'll get this figured out. All right, right on. Is it any better? Or is it about the same? They were significantly more than the ones I started out with. I'm trying to get this pulled up on my laptop where I can watch things at the same time, and you'd think by this point I would have it lined out. Okay, good. Maybe that'll work out. The other ones were cutting out when I was making videos, so. Go get set up to watch now. I am trying to get into this deal where I can watch this on my laptop. It's easier to read the comments and stuff on here. And I was late getting my thumbnail up today, so that probably didn't help. It's a busy day. This thing might frustrate me if I don't figure it out here in just a second. I'm gonna have to make a stinking shortcut for this. Every time it's a chore to find. Huh. It's the control room is what I'm looking for. Well, from India? Right on. Cool. Well, welcome. Not sure how you found me, but neat. It's good to know that information gets out there. Definitely don't know Hindi. Okay, I don't know why I can't get to my control room. This is a little bit frustrating. Sorry, guys. Bear with me. Anyways, how's y'all's week going? I don't feel like I'm ever going to catch up, but it's been busy. I'll take it. Always lots to do. Doesn't seem like that's going to change. Working on getting some help, which has actually helped out quite a bit. Eating raw honey with combs. A little waxy, isn't it? It is good though. We used to take, we used to get that honey with the comb in it when we were kids, and on a peanut butter sandwich. That is the best to me. I like it like crunchy like that. I think it's really good. I'm gonna have to Google this real quick. I don't understand how I'm missing this. You can eat the wax. I used to like chew the wax like almost like bubble gum, which it's got the propolis in it, and so I think it's got the I think that's the word. Anyways, I used to just chew it. like bubble gum. There used to be, when I had my bees, you could put a mat in there, and they would like build that up and put like build up that. I think that the word is propolis. I don't know if one of y'all remember the word or whatever. Write it down below. I'm trying to figure out how to get back to this control room. YouTube live control room. I'm streaming on the phone because it's easier for me to set up and schedule the live on my phone when I'm on the go. But I like to watch it and be able to respond to comments and stuff. I can read them better on my laptop. And so that's how I do it. And I never know if I'm going to be home or around or whatever, and the phone allows me to be able to do that. So let's see. Turn this off. I don't understand. I don't know why this ends up being a pain every time. I have to like search for it. I don't know, about to give up on it. Not even gonna lie. It's not like a crisis. Anyways, anything exciting happening? Or is it just work for everybody? What a way to start this off. Okay, I'm kind of in it, I think. Maybe. Anyways, thanks, Fleebs. I'm trying. I was able to get quite a few of them put together. These microphones are really heavy. I'm not a huge fan. I was able to get quite a few videos put together, so there should be new content, I think every day the rest of this week. And maybe even a video or two for next week. So, I got a thermocell out here today because the freaking mosquitoes have been really thick lately. And let's see, today I did not film any content. Kind of feel a little unproductive today. But I had to go to the big city and go shop for a new project that I'm doing. And so I was getting together components for that and trying to visit with folks about trying to find components. And Raven's been helping me a little bit with that deal. And then the Tacoma went down this week. I think I took it to the Toyota dealership I'm still able to drive it, but anyways. I took it to the Toyota dealership on Monday, and I think Tuesday afternoon, they got back to me and told me that the head gaskets need to be replaced. And so I am debating what I want to do with that. And so now I'm back to driving the 2000 4Runner with 318,000 miles on it at the moment, and kind of putting around like that. that vehicle is not rated for moving trailers, near like the Tacoma is, and the Tacoma is really not rated for moving that big of a trailer. So I feel like my hands are kind of tied right now. Fortunately for me, I don't have a whole lot of jobs going on that require a truck, so that's good. Unfortunately for me, the truck is sitting here in the driveway. I brought it back because I wasn't ready to approve that bill yet. I'm trying to weigh out my options and try to decide what to do. I've drove for almost 20 years now, and I have never blown a head gasket. And you get all sorts of like randoms on the internet that are like, well, it's because you didn't change your oil more often than Toyota said to change your oil, or you didn't flush your coolant. And I'm like, we're not even that far over on the coolant flush, even if we compared it to Toyota's manual. So I don't think that's part of the problem. I think it's just a problem. I moved my laptop out of the way. I'm just going to read the comments on here. So Tacoma's it's in 2019 with 134,000 miles on it. So it's not like it's over or high mileage really. So I'm dealing with that, trying to figure out what I want to do. It's a chunk of money to replace head gaskets. Apparently they need to pull the engine out in order to do it. And initially all the parts were back ordered with no delivery in sight. Now they're saying, well, we could piece together the gaskets, but it's going to cost more money. We can't get a kit, but we can piece them together. And just to give you an idea, it was high enough of a bill that I asked them how much it would be to just buy a new engine. Because I'm like, well, I'm going to have the truck for a while. So they came back and said Toyota has no engines available. And the best they could do would be a used one for essentially the same price as the head gasket. So, not really sure what route I'm going to go there. So yeah, I think I might try a temporary repair just as a way to kind of buy a little bit of time with it. Because if it doesn't work, I already know I need head gaskets, and if it does work, right on. So, I think I'm going to try that. I've reached out to a buddy that is extremely mechanically inclined. He may decide to dive into it. Considered an engine swap to like a V8. Not a viable option. Doesn't seem to be any reputable shops that are doing it. Now, I could have overlooked somebody. I looked into doing a diesel conversion and quickly aborted that mission when it was going to be $32,000. I think $24,000 for the engine, and then $11,500 for install. So whatever, I guess it'd be more than that, almost $35,000. So we're not going to put we're not going to put a diesel engine in it. A used engine is still quite a bit of money because there's not that many available. So that's my deal for this week. It's frustrating too because I've got a vehicle that is 19 years older with more than double the mileage, like 2.5 times the mileage, and no engine problems. The valve covers leak on it. And I've had the valve cover gaskets replaced. So, whatever. 318,000 miles and no problems. So that's a little frustrating. All right, now let's go back to catch up on the comments here. Just went through that on my Trailhawk. New vehicles are money pits at times. It seems like all vehicles are money pits at times, and unfortunately, the line of work that I'm in and the way that I use my truck, which is significantly more than most people use their vehicles, and the truck has been good, but period. I'm kind of at this point now where I'm not sure that I should keep a truck past 100,000. because the money is almost the same, essentially in my mind, I'm saying that the Toyota now needs an engine. I had a couple of other trucks. This is not the first engine I've gone through. So, seems like the problems arise after 100,000 miles for me. So, I may need to go find a sub 100,000 mile truck to drive. So, may need to find another older diesel for the occasional trailer. Yeah, the problem is, Williams, that the older diesels, it's not an occasion, for one, it's not occasional trailer for me. I trailer sometimes all day, and if not, at a minimum, several times a week. So there's that. Now, it's not, it's not always, a 20-foot bumper pool or a dump trailer, but it is almost always a trailer. The thing that I like about the Tacoma is that I can get on all the trails and places that I need to go. But the thing that I don't like about the Tacoma is its tow capacity. But backing up to trails that it will go on trails that the UTV can't make it down. The UTV is significantly closer to the ground. I'm looking at them both right now. The tires are only like an inch smaller, but it is the breakover, the way it can go over like a hump or something in the trails, and the way it can cross ditches is not anywhere near what the Tacoma can cross. So, I tow trailers a lot, and I am contemplating just getting a 3/4 ton. I have not ever owned a 3/4 ton. My trucks were always bigger than that. I came out of a 5500 and then a 3500, a 5500 and a 4500, and then I had a 3500 for a minute, but I got rid of that as quick as I could. That was too light duty for the truck bed that I had on it. I had a service bed on it, and it was terrible at pulling goosenecks. But I won't be pulling goosenecks, and I don't have any equipment to speak of. The only equipment that I really have right now or I don't have any equipment right now. The only equipment I'm looking at purchasing would be a tractor, and that would be like sub 7,000 pounds probably. So there's that. And I don't know that I'm going to go down the diesel road with all of the DEF and after treatment and everything else that's on them. And every truck that I've deleted and tuned, I've blown up the engine in. So, I think 2 Fords and 1 Dodge. Okay, I think that fills you in on where I'm at. Now, I'll catch up on some more of the comments. Yeah, Raven, we talk about how no trucks are $2,000 anymore. I looked at one the other day. It was at $2,000. Excuse me, let me check my phone here. Just bear with me. Okay. Yeah, the $2,000 truck era is long gone. That cash for clunkers completely screwed us over on that. And yeah, that's a whole nother rabbit hole. The whole junkyards burning down and all of that here lately. I don't know, it's a junkyard burned down. But the junkyards catching on fire lately is very odd. It seems like a carryover from the cash for clunkers. Like, let's make sure they're all wiped out. 5 o'clock Friday engine, yeah, no doubt. I didn't check Rock Auto. I checked with AutoZone because I've got a commercial account there. And I checked with Toyota themselves, and I checked with a local repair shop that I was getting a second bid from, or quote rather, and all of them, I wonder if I can just set this down here. I do not like how it's pulling on my shirt. And then you can tell me if you can't hear me very well or something, then I will do something different. So, okay, yeah, so I checked with 3 different places. I did some online research, and I could not find a an engine there either. Not even like a reman, which I'd be totally cool with. A reman, sometimes they've got just as good a warranty. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment. The truck is drivable. It just, I know that it's not right. So here we are. You got your 90s GM truck before they got popular. Yeah. I should maybe I shouldn't have gotten rid of my 90s GM, but I think I had 237,000 on it when I got rid of it. So I don't know. It doesn't seem like the engines. I'm looking at the lawnmower right now and realizing we've put an engine in that, and I think it's only got 250 hours on it. I changed the engine oil. Everything was good in it. My wife was mowing the yard. I looked across. I saw smoke. And she shut it down. I went over and it was completely out of oil. I guess it had bypassed the rings or broke a ring or something and burnt up all the oil in less than an hour of me changing the engine oil in it. Contact Kubota and they're like, oh yeah, we've had that problem. It's common. So, yeah, it makes me want to sell everything sometimes. But then the alternative is you have all new stuff that you can't work on, is ungodly to work on, and they can't get the parts for. Because I got another example of my uncle's truck engine blew up. He took it in, and I think he only had like 25,000 miles on his truck. He took it in, and they couldn't get him another engine, so he had to trade in the truck. Because the engines are on back order. So, anyways, all right, we'll go back to something different. I think it's Roosevelt, Oklahoma, that's full of old car parts. Just saw a whole documentary on it, more westwards. Interesting, I had no idea. Huh. One of the topics that was on my mind today was if I were to redo a homestead, what I would do different from what I did here. And I was going to kind of touch on some of that while you all were kind of gathering your thoughts or questions or had input. One thing that I had a pretty good idea on here, and I don't see many people do this anymore, and if I was going to build again, I would do this, is I would get an RV and I would live on my property for probably 30 to 60 days before I decided where I wanted my house. I could have stood for my house. It would not have bothered me for it to set a little bit farther off the road that's here. Not that it's not like we have traffic on it, but in hindsight, I wish I would have backed it up a little bit more off the road. And you don't know that until you stay on a place. I would, if I was going to do this again, I would have an RV. Depending on how long I was going to stay in the RV, I'd probably do like a carport or something over top of it and have it to be that I stayed there, watched where the sun came up, where it set. Of course, it's going to change a little bit during different times of the year, but it'll give you a pretty good idea. And I would during that time, I would begin a blueprint of how I was going to lay out my acreage, where I may want to put an office, where I may want to do an outdoor kitchen, how far from the house would I want the garden, and where would I want the garden at, and would the garden have full sun, and where would I want my solar at. These are all things that, in hindsight, it all works, but I would have laid this stuff out differently. And one of the things I kind of read today was it's a lot cheaper to move a trench or a water line or something on a piece of paper than it is after it's in the ground, and that could not be more true. My place looks like it's not even a grid pattern, because that would imply things were going in straight lines. Under the ground here, it's like spaghetti noodles. I mean, the stuff is everywhere. I mean, I know where it's at, but that was Excuse me. Definitely one of the things I would do if I were going to do this all over again. I would lay it out different and would stay on my place for a little while. Even if I could only stay there for a little while and I had to go back, I would come out and stay for a day or two and then go back and do that a few times until I got a good understanding of where I would want a chicken coop and a greenhouse and the garden, and how close would, if people drove down the road, would they be able to see me sitting on the front porch? Things like that. So, one of the things, I can dive into that topic more, but just one of the things I've learned. Sheep may be the answer to the lawnmower problem. Yeah, I don't recall who asked that. I remember answering it. But I don't recall who asked that question or why. I think they were talking about if solar and gas was down and they wanted to keep up with the grass. I don't think they ever replied, as far as I know. Now I want to check and see. So. Mm-hmm. Weird. Still over here struggling with the whole not being able to get into my control room thing, which is frustrating. I'm kind of curious if I'm not 100% sure whether we'll keep up the live stream or not. I'm kind of curious what everybody's thought is. It gets views. I mean, people watch it, but maybe you all prefer that I just put my time and energy into the videos and not so much of this. Or maybe we do less live streams. I don't know. I'm open to suggestions there. Or if you'd like me to have them more structured, I kind of like just going through the questions and answering them as they pop up. But if there's not, if there's other things going on and folks aren't able to be on, then there's not a lot of questions to go over. So, kind of curious. What your thoughts are there. Let's see here. Comments. I got a lot of comments this week. I don't know. To find. The sheep one. And I'm only trying to go back to that just because I want to see if they ever responded. Weird. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'll have to look for it. Kind of curious whether whatever happened. What's the topic? Sakul Sito? The topic at the moment was me complaining about my truck and going over things I would do differently if I was going to build another homestead from the ground up and how I would do that. And yeah. Yep. That was the topic. I didn't know that this was a Hitler Youth haircut. Petunia whale. I guess I'll have to look up what a Hitler Youth haircut looks like. That's not typically the comment that I get. But that's all right. It's just a haircut, man. You're looking into it too much. I've had long hair. I just decided not to for right now. So, I don't know. It might come back. Probably about the time the world ends. In the in-between time, I've been using the same barber for many years. I think I'm just going to stick with letting him do his job for now. I don't know where that comment went. I'll have to look for it another time. Hey, that's okay, Williams. It's viewers, man. It's viewers. Comments aren't a problem. As long as they don't act belligerent, I'm cool with it. No big deal. We had some of that last week. It's always somebody. Williams, did you get your truck going good? Or are you still working on it? Did you cut a hinge plate in the bed of it yet? I've actually seen that on several trucks, and it's not the worst idea, especially on the older Chevys. I think I replaced 2 fuel pumps in my 97 when I had it. When I say I replaced, the mechanic replaced it. I was not very mechanically inclined at the time at all. Some days I'm not sure that I am. What else we got? I'm catching up on the videos. I'm not very far behind. I look like a player in Liverpool. I don't even know who Liverpool is. I guess it's a band. I think it's a band. A little outside of my area. All right. What do I got going on? We just finished up a rainwater job this week. And what else? Really not a whole lot going on. I've got some good projects in the works, but nothing set in stone at the moment. Raven, what do you drive? You want to put a winch and a bumper on there. What are you driving? I don't remember. Super secret project. Yeah, but I've got some other projects too, Raven. Not just that one, man. I try to keep multiple things going. I'm trying to get some, and I'm not complaining, but I'm just trying to get some like help where I'm not having to keep up with everything. A 2000 Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk. Yeah. I'm not familiar with the Trailhawk. I'll have to look up that. I had a Jeep Cherokee, but it was like a 96, something like that. It was actually a pretty neat truck. I ran across pictures of that the other day. I had traded for it. Yeah, it was kind of a cool truck, or SUV, whatever. Raven, if you're talking about the drawers that go in the back of like the SUV, I have seen a bunch of like the police pullouts lately for not a lot of money. I don't know if they'd fit that exactly, but I think they're using some sort of a Dodge right now. So a bunch of those trunk units came out of the Dodge SUVs, or maybe the Ford Explorers, or yeah, Explorers. I thought it was just empty every pocket, not every paycheck. Williams, I mean, if it's not rusted out, I get it, but, you know, at the same time, if you have to keep replacing it. Raven needs tasks. Yeah, you need tasks until I start sending you tasks, and then you're like, good golly, he will not leave me alone. Fiat Fiasco. Okay. I need to get more structured with the tasks that I have, is probably what I need to do. And then I will have more tasks. But I feel like I am not doing a great job structuring what they are. I went into a plumbing supply shop today, and it was the customer service was a total letdown. I'm used to going in, and if I speak halfway intelligently about what I'm dealing with, most people begin also speaking halfway intelligently about the products that they sell and what they do, and we can discuss and come up with a plan. And I had several components with me, and these gentlemen, I think there was 5 of them in there working. And I understand, like, there's other things going on. I'm not asking for the world to revolve around me, but not once did I get offered help. Not, what are you looking for? Can we point you in the right direction? None of that. I moseyed around in there for probably 25 minutes. I even spoke with one of the guys, asking him a question about a water pump, and got nowhere. They were not very helpful at all. Were not interested. So I think I will just source everything online. I would much rather deal with a local shop when possible, but I'm not gonna put up with not getting any customer service. So I'll go online and order stuff and have it shipped to the house. So you need a place to dump information, put down notes, maybe a Discord or Google Workspace. I don't know anything about either of those, Raven. I just don't know anything. I don't know. I've heard the word Discord, but I know nothing about it. And Google Workspace, I know nothing about either. Sounds like a typical trip to Home Depot. I got no complaints on Home Depot or AutoZone here. The AutoZone I've dealt with, I was thinking about it the other day, I've dealt with them for the past 18 years. Ever since I started driving, I was literally up there the week after I bought my truck. They have been great. Some of the same guys are still there, super helpful. Home Depot, if I need help, I go get it, and when I don't, I don't, but I've got no complaints there. This plumbing supply shop, total letdown. I mean, it's like what they do, and they looked at me like they'd never even heard of a water pump before. So that was neat. Yeah, so I've got a good project going on there, just a DIY project for me and the homestead at the moment. And then probably about to get back into some builds, plural. Got some other little projects. And right now, aside from that, I am catching up on tasks in the office on the computer. Trying to catch up on them, trying to finish up the collaborations. We're getting much, much closer with that, which is great. I did bring on another collab, but it's very worthwhile for everybody. So might get me into a different power production system than what I've been using. So we're gonna mess with them. They seem like they'll be worth the time. And other than that, I've been turning several of them down. So get that stuff lined out, and should be that middle of next week, I'm back on track to start making like cool videos that I'm excited about again. And I thought I would be able to squeeze in a cool video that I was excited about between now and my collaborations, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. I think I'm better served to just catch up on these collabs and get them out. And when I can have a quiet day, I can knock out, like 4 of them in the same day. So, and then I just schedule them out, and that works out. And then I'll be trying to figure out the truck deal. So Discord is basically a giant community text network where you can talk with people in your own private channel. You can set rules and control it fully, have voice chats, but you can also share and disseminate information. I'll have to look into it. I guess I'll have to watch a YouTube video about it. I did catch up with a buddy today who's got a channel who hadn't posted in a while. He had kind of fallen off the face of the earth. So that was Whiskey Dog Outdoors. So I called him and checked on him today. I think he's been having some stuff going on in his life, and I think he's getting things kind of more or less lined back out, at least to where he's able to go out in the woods again. What's up? New haircut? Yeah, I don't know. It's a new haircut, I guess, or a trimmed up haircut. Something like that. My local O'Reilly's is staffed by revolving door students. Yeah, no joke. The last time when I was going to parts houses up in Okmulgee, where I went to college, we went into AutoZone up there because it was like all really young kids with no experience. We would just walk in and get on the computer and look up our parts, find where they were at, and go pull them. And we would not talk to anybody unless we absolutely had to. Typically, they asked us if we worked there, and we told them no. But we just knew how to get into the systems. But that was a few years ago, too. People are not, it's not entirely their fault. They're not very educated on what is going on with vehicles these days. And part of it is because of all the electronics. There's really not much you can do. Miller approves. I don't know what that means. My last resort. Yeah, so. Oh, what's up, James? Appreciate it. I didn't know what your handle was. I'm over here griping about Toyota. You may not be able to chime in there. Sorry, man. I guess you probably missed it, but I guess I've blown the head gaskets on the Tacoma, so, or at least a head gasket. Cylinder 4 has got coolant going into the cylinder. So, thanks for chiming in. Typical of me that I used something too much when it was new, so now it needs repair work. But, yeah, ew, yeah. It's going to be expensive. Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be fail-proof too, but I don't think anything is when I'm driving it. It's what I've about come to the conclusion of. I am rough on vehicles. I use them. And trying to find a new vehicle that has differential lockers is a challenge. It greatly reduces my options. So, your house looks nice, by the way. I know how the construction world works, so good for you. I hope it's done. I don't remember whether you said it was done or not, but it's always a project, it seems. I was glad to see you on here. I'm going to have to remember your username now. All right. Well, I don't really have anything else exciting. I don't know that I can handle any more excitement this week. How can I get a hold of you about doing an off-grid house build? Steven, I don't know. You can send an email, and either myself or my assistant or somebody will get back with you. I don't know whether we're going to be doing off-grid builds for others right now. I don't know. Reach out We can discuss. My email is in the bio there, mountainwizard21@gmail. We'll just have to go through it. If you sent an email, bear with me. We'll get back with you as quick as we can. We get a lot of emails. Some days a lot, and some days a few. And the days with a few, we are able to kind of catch up. But I don't think you slipped through the cracks. If you did send an email and we didn't respond, then just send another, and one of us will get back with you. Mention new builds. Yeah, all personal projects. I don't think I've got anything on the books for anybody else at the moment. Kind of just not sure. Kind of hanging out. Thanks, dude. We'll see you, James. Appreciate you stopping in. Huh. I like the idea of building cabins for other people. But I'm helping finish one out right now. Some parts of it I really like, and some parts of it I don't. I'm just not sure how many of those I will do. There are times where it slows down the progress a lot. I know that we can get things done a lot quicker when it's just one person calling the shots, and that's not on anybody, but it's just a fact. You know, I can make a judgment call pretty quick, but it's different when I need to go through a couple other channels. And then it causes the project to slow down, and then I lose interest in it pretty quick. I'm very much like not blow and go, but like when we're on something, I want to get it done. I got things to do. So, yeah, I don't know. What's up, homesteader? We need to hop back on the radio again, dude. Glad you chimed in now at the end of the freaking show. What the heck, dude? I guess I'll run it for a little bit longer since you showed up. Isn't it past your bedtime? It's got to be getting close. Every time I try to call you around this hour, you're ready to go to bed. Dude. Yeah, it's been a day. You missed that, but between the truck, it's been a week, and I mean, I can't complain because the family's healthy and everybody's safe, so that's the majority of it. The rest of it is just whatever. But yeah, between the truck and just the projects I've got going on. And you're off tomorrow. Oh, that's right. You get off on the weekends. At least this week anyways, right? As long as nobody breaks anything. We haven't visited in a couple of days. I don't remember what projects you got going on. Or what you've decided with any of them. I think we were talking about your shop, the current one, the other day, last time. I recall talking about the latest project. Oh, I ordered with the Prime Days deal. This is kind of neat for those of you that care. Worthy had one of their tracking solar systems on the Prime Day. And so I ordered one, and we're going to test that out. EcoWorthy reaches out to me on collaborations frequently. And I'll be completely honest, they aggravate me. I jump through a lot of hoops to hook up with them because I've used their products in the past. I'll jump through hoops, and then they will bail on me. And we were working out a deal the other day, and I bailed on them this time. I got to thinking about it, and I'm like, man, as much of a chore as they've been to deal with on the collaboration side, I'm like, I'm out. I'm not even interested. They had more requirements for a small item than some of these huge items I've gotten. And so, anyways, aside from that, I think their products are fine, but whoever they have dealing with their collaborations is a total chore. So, I ordered this single, oh, what the heck? Single, it's not, I don't know. It's a single motor. I didn't think I needed the dual motor. And so I'm going to try to link up the EcoWorthy tracker. I need another hand. Like a physical hand, like a day a week that doesn't need me around. Like I just need somebody to work sometimes. Anyways, sorry, rabbit there. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. I guess there'll be a video on that. It won't be like sponsored or anything like that. It'll be, I bought it with my own money, but it was on quite the sale. I think it was down to like $350. And I'm trying to expand the solar system I've got anyways. And I've got panels, so I'm going to try it. The reviews were pretty fair on it. And it definitely won't be a skewed review. So, anyways. Okay. Yeah, dude, I don't know how you get up at 3 in the morning, homesteader. That's not, I don't know. I get up at 6, but... Hey, what's up, Josh? You made it. Nice to see you, dude. Now we'll... No, I'm kidding. Calm down. Yeah, Raven, the no answer, no business. I'm very much like, yeah, because if I can't reach you, especially if I'm talking about using your products, if I can't reach you, then that means my clients or my customers or my subscribers can't reach you. And if you won't reach out to the person who is advertising your product or potentially purchasing bulk of your product, you won't reach out to him and work with him, then why would I recommend you, US-based or not? And finding US-based, oh, good gosh. I am working on this project right now and trying to find everything USA, at the very least, USA assembled, preferably manufactured in the USA, which is almost impossible. I feel like I almost need to go back to the drawing board on things because of it being so challenging. But anyways, yeah, businesses are a nightmare right now. Well, good to see you, Josh. I was going to text you the other day and see how things were going. Hopefully everything is well down there on the border. And you're keeping it secured. Probably not. 5:30 on the days off. I think I'm getting up at like 6:15 right now. I kind of chill for just a little bit, and then I read a few emails, and then I'll cook breakfast, and then get on about my day. If I was closer, I'd be down. Could happen in I got a lead on 10 acres down your way up for sale before the summer of 28. What are you looking for, Williams? If you're actively looking for land and you need to reach out and send me an email or a private message. And if you are actually looking for a place, reach out to me. That's how I'll leave that at the moment. There is always land available for me, or available near me. We just need to decide what you're actually looking for, and if you're serious, and things like that. So I'll leave it like that, but I am serious. If you are interested, reach out, and we'll figure something out. Getting ready to try and do some raised garden. Dude, the raised garden beds, Josh, they've been a game changer. Raven, yeah, that would be great. I'm counting on it. You've been helping, and you're not anywhere around right now, so figure it out, man. Yeah, Josh, the raised garden beds, if you're in the desert, which you basically are, what's your option on getting something with a sealed bottom? Like oil field containment tanks. Obviously, we don't want one that's actually held a bunch of petroleum product, right? But if you could get those containment tanks, I've looked at those before when I was in the aquaponics, you could come up from the bottom like maybe 3 or 4 inches and drill your hole for your drain hole. And that way you've always got like a reservoir there in the bottom of your bed, and you could put like 2-inch gravel down in there, or even logs or sticks or something like that, and have yourself a little spot where the water would sit, and that way your roots will have a way to go down there, but that'll also wick up through that soil. So something to consider. Although the raised beds do in general do a pretty good job of not drying out too bad. So I don't know if you're going to do like water it with the city water or what you've got going on there. I don't know what your your circumstances are exactly. It's getting dark out here. Okay, it's hard to find stuff that isn't made in China, but the sad reality is some of it we can't even get here anymore. The key is making sure it's from quality source there. That makes me sure. Yeah, it's like, it's frustrating. Yeah, the China thing is frustrating. And I'm not trying to produce jobs for China. And so if I can buy US made products, but good golly, you talk about a price increase. That's the kicker. The price increase. I mean, you're going to find some that don't care. As in don't care what the price is, but boy, yeah, some of it is kind of brutal. Yes, Mr. Bob Bowman can absolutely help with land. However, sometimes I find land that is not advertised. We'll leave it like that. Not quite active at this point. Family is moving and have a rather functional property between Poto and Worcester. Not quite active at this point. Family is moving. Are you saying that the family that is moving already has a rather functional property between Poto and Worcester? Yeah, homesteader, I need you, like, yeah, the raised beds are the way to go. My garden's atrocious this year. I've not had time. I think we're fixing to shut this down just because I'm running out of light here. Yeah, Josh, that's why I mentioned them, because you should be able to find those down there for next to nothing. If not, you could use the plastic 55-gallon drums and cut them in half, and just have 2 tubs that way. I've used that. There's a multitude of options there. Williams, if you get bored sometimes, send me like a pin drop or something for the property. I'd kind of just like to gander if you don't care. Kind of curious. Homesteader, yeah, I'm fixing to shut this down, and we can try the radios. I got a little bit of time. So I'll shoot you a text here in a minute, and we'll get it worked out. See what we can get going. All right, folks. Well, if you don't have anything new and exciting, I think we're going to get ready to wrap this up for the evening. And I don't think I've got anything else cool to tell you about. See ya, Williams. Josh, have a good one, dude. I'm glad you reached out and were able to find time to tune in for a moment. Raven, appreciate it. I'm sure I'll be texting with you later on, tomorrow or something, as we're trying to get things worked out here. All right, guys, I'm going to call it. Y'all have a great evening. And for those of you that I don't talk to between now and next week, we'll talk to you then. All right, we'll see y'all later.